What's up, Jen?
What's up?
So I'm mostly here to talk about the Joker. I saw the Joker last night, and I wasn't murdered by incels, so we got that going for us. But we loved it. My son was absolutely nuts about it. But there's a couple other things that we just have to talk about. First, there's this Eat Your Babies story with AOC. So I want to look at that, and it turns out the LaRouche PAC seems to be behind. At least I'm reading the way I'm reading this. It says, I'll share my screen, that oh shoot, I just actually messed it up. There we go. That the LaRouche PAC is trolling AOC. They're claiming, so like terrorists take responsibility. They're taking responsibility for this, which is amazing. So, here's the thing, and I was kind of late at night when I watched it. Here, hold on, we'll watch a little bit. You can hear it, right?
No, wait, I can't hear it.
You can?
No.
What the heck? Oh, hold on, I know why. I know why. You will now.
Of the climate crisis,
we
have a few months left. I love that you support the Green Deal, but
the Green Deal,
getting rid of fossil fuel is not going to solve the problem.
Let me
enough.
break down what's happening here.
Professor saying we can eat.
Let's look at her face, not her face.
Fast enough.
We could eat dead people. Look at her.
Next,
She's now. I'm not the first person to point this out, but this is what I thought when I was watching it. And Jen, you know, in my past life in ministry, I know what it's like to be standing up front with a bunch of people watching you while someone else has the microphone and starts saying something crazy. Whether it's at a church business meeting or a prayer meeting, or some homeless guy came to church that day, and everybody's
sure I've had it too.
As a professor, I've had that a million times where you have a student who's a little off and now they start saying crazy. And I'm one of these people where I get embarrassed for other people really, really fast. So I start, I'm not good at I'm not the kind of guy who's gonna like smack you down and make fun of you, right? Even if you probably need that, like if that's what baby Jesus would do, I'm not good at it. So the look on her face is, and I'm probably reading into it a little bit of what I want.
Eating babies.
Start eating babies. She's so good.
Too much CO2.
She does. Forget Joaquin Phoenix. She deserves an Oscar. And before I get into AOC's face, this lady has a little bit of nod. You could see my mouse, right? She's nodding a little.
Pollutant. Too much CO2.
This girl, she's like,
now, please.
The microphone goes. This person is smiling. I think she probably drove this girl there.
Bomb Russia. We still have
bomb Russia. Now she's thinking, uh-oh. So look at her. Okay, this face.
The babies.
There's two things happening here. One is I have a crazy person. She might pull out a grenade.
How do I get out of this?
Yeah, I mean, look at her body language. She's shrinking. She's so I could feel her heart beating out of her chest. I feel it. I feel it because I've been her. And I mean, I've never been her. Let's not. We are talking about AOC here. But I think what you're seeing on her face, and again, not the first person to point this out, is a little bit of, oh crap.
Yeah.
She believed me too much. She's taken me too seriously. I say we have 12 years left. This poor mentally ill child, who we find out later is actually a troll, which someone, I don't know, is Jack Posobiec, somebody pointed out, like, the t-shirt's a dead giveaway that this is a troll. It says "Eat the Babies" on it. Yeah. So when like I said, I was late at night when I saw this last night, and I didn't immediately recognize it was a troll. I actually feel really stupid about that. But one of the reasons is, if you're going to tell young people their whole lives that they are out of time and they are going to burn in a fireball of capitalist hate because of plastic straws and SUVs, eventually they just go nuts. And that's what we're seeing. That's what we saw with the climate march a few weeks ago.
Sure.
They're losing their minds. Yeah. Even my conservative kids, when I make fun of this stuff, there's a little part of them that's like, yeah, but you do have to take care of the turtles. And I'm like, the turtles. We got one of my favorite restaurants here in town. They give you those paper straws. Mm-hmm. Do you? I can't. even taking it out of my drink makes my teeth feel.
It's mashy. It turns to mash in like 5 seconds.
No, the problem for me is like I'm the kind of person I love nectarines, but I can't eat peaches. The peach fuzz makes my teeth.
Yeah.
I get like I don't know how to describe that feeling. Like right now I'm licking my teeth because my teeth are feeling all.
I'm making a stink face because I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm sensed like it really it gives me a feeling. I don't know how to, I know there's a word for it, but
Triggers you.
yeah, it triggers my teeth. Okay, but anyway, so I think part of the look on her face is a look of, oh no,
Yeah.
they're taking this to, like, I've taken it extremely far to get attention and to be extremely woke and to be intense. But, oh, wait, this kid's taking it seriously. Like, this kid is they're taking me literally, and I've driven this person nuts. I think that's what's in her face. And again, I don't want to say I've had that experience. I don't think I ever misled people or was extreme or anything like that. But as a person who's taught a lot of people and as a very passionate person, I have seen students where they take what you're saying and they almost, like, you're trying to wake somebody up.
Yeah, they amp it up.
You're trying to say you really need to correct this in your life, or this idea is really bad, and you demonstrate what's wrong with it. And then you get a student who takes it too far and you go, wait a minute, I was just trying to get you to care. And now you're like strapping grenades get around your chest. Like, I've created a scary. I mean, I've never really done that. I'm speaking in my native tongue, which is hyperbole. But that, I think that's what's going on with AOC here, where she's like, I'm just trying to usher in socialism, which I think is going to help the world because I'm a moron, and this kid is ready to eat an effing baby. That's the
berets are a dead giveaway. Nobody wears berets like that anymore.
I think it's adorable. Let's watch a little more.
Problem. Just having babies is not enough.
She's great. I love her.
Eat the babies.
We need to eat the babies. You know that's going in the soundboard.
We'll go ahead.
She might dethrone Greta as my favorite soundboard.
Well, do you think that that's why she's doing this, like to mock Greta even?
It's possible. That's a good thought, maybe. Well, yeah, I mean,
that's how I see it.
We are in the beginning of a mass extinction. Entire ecosystems are collapsing.
I feel like a failure that I don't already have her. By the way, I love Greta's voice. It is the cutest. It's adorable. Like, right here, listen. This is my favorite.
You have stolen my dreams.
Like, I know we're making fun of her. We have to make fun of her. In retaliation for the MAGA hat kid, the 12-year-old boy who stood up to the weird Indian guy who was banging the drum, being the nicest, most polite. Like, that could have been one of my nephews.
Right.
You know, okay, I'm just gonna be polite. The kid's a Christian kid. He's like, I'm just gonna smile at this guy and let him be so weird. And I love Donald Trump and I love America. And then you have these liberal psychopaths saying they want to punch him in the face and murder him and all this stuff. So, anyway, so this lady's amazing. And look.
No, we'll go ahead. It's so no. Yeah, no.
No.
So
I think. Oh, she's great.
Yeah, no. So one of the things that's very important to us is that we need to treat the climate crisis with the urgency.
But don't be crazy. But
luckily, we have more than a few months.
We do
need to hit net zero.
No, we don't.
In several years.
Net zero. You know how impossible it is? When she says net zero, she's talking about zero carbon emissions. You do realize that is an impossibility. You would have to completely collapse modern society. I saw a clip from Jordan Peterson recently where he was dealing with a woman in the audience who was attacking him on stuff, and he was basically saying to her, I don't think he is a climate denier, quote unquote, like some of us. I won't name any names, me, but he was basically saying, here's what you would have to do, and he listed all the things that we would need to do, and he says, good luck with that. That's a terrible impersonation of him, but he just looks at her and he goes, good luck, no one's going to do that. No one's going to do that. This is the worst impersonation of Jordan Peterson on the internet. But when she says we need to get to net zero soon, she's talking like, I don't know. Is she that? And I'm trying not to be mean. Is she that? What's a good word? Ignorant? Does that she thinks that's something that will happen in the next 12 years, which is what she's giving us. Right. Al Gore gave us 10 years 30 years ago. Yeah. She's giving us 12 years. I mean, there are very smart people who are fully on board for the climate change things. People like Bill Gates. I know people think he's a globalist psychopath, but I think he honestly believes that we need to do something. But what she's saying is completely unreasonable.
Yeah.
All right. So, thank you, Jen. Jen gets $10 for every time she agrees with what I say. Our next one before we get to the Joker, and we'll put, by the way, those of you, no one's watching anyway. This is like our third video. We're basically entertaining ourselves. No one's here. We're doing the groundwork so that someday somebody will watch our videos. So we had this Gru. This is the picture. It's not auto playing videos yet, thank God, because it freezes my computer. But he puts the OK sign in. Watching the video, I got to say, when I first saw this, I thought, I do this thing. Now, Jen, you know that I am one of the greatest guitar players of all time.
I want my $10.
Me and Jen are in a band together, and they tend to put my lead guitar sound extra loud in Jen's in-ear monitor. And so she's constantly making fun of my guitar playing, which is okay. I'd say I'm intermediate on the guitar. I'm okay at it.
Honestly, though, you are very good.
No, you are very good. Jen is a way better musician than me. But so I always have like my resting fingers. Like, you know how you have RBF resting?
I have seen this. Yes, I know exactly where you're going with it.
My resting finger positions, I'll do weird things with my finger just when I'm sitting there.
Yep.
So I looked at this guy and I thought, I would do that. Just like I can see you doing that just because I put my fingers in interesting positions, like holding a pick, for example. Right. That's also the holding a pick position, which my hands are when I sleep.
You know, he could have very well picked a booger and he was just holding it in there.
He's rolling it between the thumbs.
Yeah, you don't know. It well could be.
We've had so many potential show titles: rolling it between the fingers. Eat the babies. We got so many things that we could use for showtime. Oh, hold on. What's this little white supremacy sign?
Wait, I can't see.
I gotta make it big. I don't think I can make it any bigger. Hold on. I could do this. That did nothing. The kid.
Is he not doing the same exact thing?
That's hilarious. He's not, but it's funny. So, but anyway, when I saw the video, he does appear to all of a sudden, he puts his hand on her shoulder and then he does that.
Yeah.
And obviously the family is a mixed race family from what I saw in the video. I think the husband, I don't know what the husband is, but he's way lighter than the wife. Looked like a white guy. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, maybe the guy was trolling him, but here's the thing. I still don't understand why anybody in society thinks the OK symbol is a thing at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll look at that story in a second. But this is the thing that's fascinating to me, that anybody thinks it's actually a thing. And you pulled up this story for me. This is the Anti-Defamation League.
Yeah, this is listing from their like symbols of hate. So it's listing as one of them.
In 2017, the OK hand gesture acquired a new and different significance. They go into the history in the 17th century where OK came from.
Yep.
These people are special, man. Really. I like when you say special.
Special?
Yeah. so offensive, Jen.
You're welcome.
Let me get rid of this. By the way, we'll post these. The executive cat blogger herself will post some of these links on Outside the Bots. Or we'll do it. Maybe you could do some show notes for me. You already have the links. So in 2017, the OK hand gesture acquired a new different significance thanks to a hoax. Okay, so they admit this by members of the website 4chan to falsely promote the gesture as a hate symbol, claiming that the gesture represented the letter WP for white power, which is hilarious. Come on. The OK gesture hoax was merely the latest. I mean, I know people probably know this, but then they go on. Ironically, some white supremacists themselves soon also participated in such trolling tactics, lending an actual credence to those who labeled the trolling gesture as racist in nature. By 2019, at least some white supremacists seem to have abandoned the ironic. See, first of all, what white supremacists? Please show me the white supremacists. Because the thing is, when they say white supremacists, they include people like Milo Yiannopoulos, who's a Jewish homosexual married to a black guy. If that's a white supremacist, then the word means nothing.
Yeah.
They just mean conservative. They consider conservatives white supremacists. Anybody to the right of Nancy Pelosi is a white supremacist, and sometimes even Nancy Pelosi. Like they've called Bill Maher a white supremacist or alt-right, which means white supremacist, basically.
Right.
And it's all part of this fiction that Donald Trump, who loves to use the OK symbol, that's one of the reasons they did this troll, I believe. That was
for sure.
That he's a white supremacist. And they've said it so many times on TV that people who are not in the know, which is most people, are just terrified that the president is an actual white supremacist, which is
right. Well, if you look at the last sentence, the results,
where?
Wait, go right there. Don't move.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jen. It's bringing this whole thing down.
I'm moving.
Sorry. All right, here.
As a result, someone who uses the symbol cannot be assumed to be using the symbol in either a trolling or especially white supremacist context.
Duh.
Unless
and here's
potential, but like right. I'm now woke myself because I've never gone onto the Anti-Defamation League's website to see the list of things that are considered offensive.
Which is ridiculous.
So I just learned this morning that the 100% is now a symbol because the full use of the term is 100% white.
That's 1,000% ridiculous.
Which is highly offensive.
Wow. What this does is it's subjective, it's stupid, it's fake.
It's
and what it does is it gives them a tool to use against whatever normal person they want to claim is a Nazi.
It turns everything into such a super sensitive that it goes back to that whole eating the baby thing. Like that's the culture that's being created because of all the things that we now have to be sensitive to.
Exactly.
And overwhelming.
I think that kind of trolling, by the way, like seriously, that kind of trolling does more for the movement of common sense, human, free speech loving Americans than anything else. Going in and talking we bomb Rudd, she's just amazing. So if that really was the LaRouche pack, hats off to them. That's amazing. Oh, one last thing. So in the video, the mother of the kid that had the OK symbol on her shoulder, and I do got to say, if the guy was trying to troll a mixed race family by putting that symbol on the girl's shoulder, the guy's a moron. Yeah. I seriously doubt that, though. Yeah. Who does that? I think he was probably maybe he was a guitar player. I don't know. One thing we couldn't find in our detailed 2.5 minutes of research before we went live to tell everyone our opinion on it, we couldn't find out if the guy had a statement. We know he got fired, but we don't know if he had a statement. And
it doesn't list his name that I saw.
Thank God. The guy would be murdered by social justice warriors. Antifa would be at his house lighting his grandmother on fire. yelling burn a Nazi. Oh, but the mother and the thing, no, not the mother. One of the reporters that they interview, sure enough, says that Proud Boys like to use it. And she lists Proud Boys as, I don't know if they said white supremacists, but as alt-right, which is, one and the same to them. Mm-hmm. And of course, Gavin, who was, I guess, the founder of the Proud Boys, has since resigned to try to help out some of the guys who are being prosecuted for various things. The Proud Boys, to call them a white supremacist group. I mean, I was watching him last week, and he was saying, when does the white supremacy where do all the black members of the Proud Boys go when they talk about their white supremacy stuff? Because there's many it's a mixed, it's a diverse group of people.
Yeah.
Which is undeniable. It's gay, straight, black, white, everything in between. I think the leader of the Proud Boys is Persian. So the idea that the Proud Boys is white supremacist, it's just that absolutely drives me crazy. Okay. So last night,
tell me about it.
I went to see. And I'm not a movie reviewer, but I'll tell you guys my thoughts. Okay. So first off, let's start with spoiler. I can't spoil it because you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
So I don't want to spoil it for you, and I don't want to talk by myself into the internet. That's just hard to do. So first thing, the movie looks amazing. The cinematography from the second it opens is, I probably just watch way too much stuff on Netflix. You watch a new show and you don't know the characters yet, and the first episode you're just sort of like trying to endure it because you don't care yet.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like I've been trying to watch the Dark Crystal thing for weeks. And I can't get past, and I was starting to get into it, and then one of the things had boogers coming out, and I got too sick. I had to turn it off because I can't stand boogers. So I take a while to get into a thing, and I'm usually actually watching a movie. I usually get like, I watched Avengers Endgame and was antsy by like an hour.
Really?
Yeah, I'm you know me. I'm a little I got a lot going on. So
on crack.
I'm how dare you? So I'm watching this thing, and from the second it starts, I was engrossed. Like it's just so beautiful to look at. Which is funny because it's kind of like everybody says it's gritty and stuff. It takes place in Gotham, which is inspired by 1981. It takes place in 1981 New York City, basically, but it's Gotham, right? And it's dingy, it's dark, and yet the tones, the visual tones and color and the framing of the shots, it truly is one of the most beautifully shot films I think I've ever seen. You're never bored just looking at the screen. He does this thing with the camera work. I don't know. Again, my ignorance. I'm not a movie critic. I don't know anything. I'm just telling you what I experienced. So when you look at, he does this thing in a few shots where it's similar to a filter I've seen on like fun camera apps where it makes things almost look like they're miniature models. Have you ever seen that? It's like a filter you can use. I've only seen it in a few apps where it almost makes everything look like it's fake. And he does that a few times with the Joker. Like there's a scene that's in the trailer, so I could talk about it, where he gets beat up by a bunch of hooligans, a bunch of hoodlums. And he's lying on the ground, and they just have this shot of him lying on the ground, and it just looks amazing. He does a lot of really cool things with stairs. And I mean, I guess I was looking for this because seeing some of the trailers, some of the people I watched were analyzing some of the footage. There's definitely a theme of him being at the bottom going up, and him being at the top coming down victorious. Like there's a lot of cool things like that. But it just looks absolutely incredible. The score is phenomenal. It has
Who
this
did the score? Do you know?
What's that?
Do you know who wrote the score?
No, I have no idea. But it's amazing. It's real. It sets a tone. He does a lot of thing with low strings, like a cello or something. There's this theme that comes up a lot with deep string. I'm assuming it's a cello. Maybe what's below a cello?
What's below a cello, Frank?
In terms of register,
a bass.
Yeah, you go straight to bass. There's nothing in between.
No.
I'm gonna say you're sure, but you're sure. I don't know if it was a bass, but it was just these really deep string tones that he does throughout that are, I don't know how to describe it. Just chilling and sad and beautiful. Just amazing. Of course, Joaquinix, as my hilarious son calls him, he's just amazing the entire time. And the funny thing, without spoiling anything, there was a couple turns in the story where I went, wow, that was kind of a leap. Like this crazy guy has this going for him now. And then later on you come back and you go, oh, and it actually plays in and you go, holy crap, they really had me going, like there's some things that I felt like I should have realized were happening that you find out and anyway, I don't want to spoil it for you. Joaquin Phoenix is amazing. The lady whose name escapes me, who plays his love interest, she's amazing. I can't remember her. She has an interesting name, and I can't remember it. Can you look it up? It's something with a Z. It's like, but I want to say it, but I'm afraid I'm totally wrong.
Okay.
I'm trying not to look anything up on my computer because it's already struggling.
I'm getting there. But it was an Icelandic composer who actually did the music for the show Chernobyl, which is excellent.
Oh, that was great.
Zazie Beetz.
Zazie Beetz. I was going to say that. I should have been more confident. Who took my confidence away as a child? So Zazie Beetz was phenomenal. She was really, really, really good. His mother, who's played by a well-known actress whose name I can't remember, she was great. De Niro, it's hard not to see. De Niro's obviously, no one says De Niro's not a great actor.
Right.
He's super annoying lately, though. So it's hard not to see De Niro and not his character for me. And I'm not sure if I was supposed to like his character, but not liking him works for the movie, so that worked for me. I don't want to say anything too horrible.
Did him being in the news lately have anything to do?
No. Like De Niro's been so annoying for so long. It's hard. Here's the thing. His whole tough guy shtick that he made millions of dollars off of now just seems like a really limited moron to me when I see it. Oh, by the way, there was the story yesterday that De Niro's being sued by his old assistant. And there is a sound clip. This would be a great thing for you to Google, my friend. This sound clip of him yelling at her and calling her the B word and calling her a child and saying all these harsh things to her came out. And here's the thing. It sounds just like De Niro being a tough guy in one of his movies. So De Niro's one of these guys who likes to, he plays a tough guy in the movies and then he pretends to be a tough guy in real life. And I'm so over it. I used to really think he was just so amazing. Now it's hard for me to see that because now I just see the ignorant old man who threatens to punch the president because he believes everything CNN tells him. So I basically see a sad, ignorant child. But still, he was great, and his character, it was great. Now, here's the thing we wanted to talk about was why has this movie so thoroughly triggered social justice warriors and leftists in the media? We talked about this the other day. I think the fact that they targeted Warner Brothers, I forget the name of the group, but we wrote about it a week ago or two. They targeted Warner Brothers for donations. They targeted Warner Brothers to try to manipulate them into doing anti-gun lobbying for them, into supporting victims' families, which is what their organization does. And so they were squeezing Warner Brothers for donation. That's a big part of it. But it does seem like something about this really triggered social justice warriors. I have to say this. I was looking for it and I had trouble finding it. And then I was watching some of the very smart people who are political analysts and commentators on Twitter try to discuss the movie. And they were actually coming out opposites on whether the supporters of the Joker in the movie represent Antifa or not. So, and I had trouble seeing a political message. I'll tell you this one thing. I'm very sensitive when I watch any kind of programming. They call it programming for a reason. I'm very sensitive when watching any kind of programming if I'm being targeted as a Trump supporting white male conservative. So, for example, someone told me recently to watch, and a Christian was the most important part of my identity. I was trying to watch The Handmaid's Tale. And it was really interesting. It has the girl from Mad Men, which I really liked. So I really wanted to watch it. And they are just pounding on people like me, pretending that if we were in power, we would enslave all the women and beat people because we read Romans chapter 1. And I'm just sitting there going, we brought you the West where you're free. What it's just insane to me that you have such an imagination that all of these people are actually hateful white supremacists. It's just crazy. So breaking news. Conor McGregor was formally served with a summons to appear in court for punching an old man. I added the old part in a bar in April. Wow. That's crazy. I'm surprised he didn't. I guess those are legal charges, and that's going to be in Ireland, I think. So breaking news on a show that's going to be recorded and edited and uploaded later. I do love that Conor McGregor for all his faults. The guy entertains me. So anyway, I'm watching this and I didn't feel targeted by the Joker. So I didn't feel like I couldn't see any overt anti-Trump messages in it. The crowd that eventually supports the Joker, I guess that's a little spoiler, I'm sorry, but I think you could see that from the trailers that there's sort of a clown movement going on. That's kind of obvious. At one point or another, you see them holding signs that say like "kill the rich" or something like that. So that smacks of Occupy Wall Street and Antifa and stuff like that. But I certainly didn't feel your cricket's back. I certainly didn't feel politically targeted by this movie at all. I didn't feel like it was promoting an Antifa leftist message. Now, the thing I said this to you earlier when we were talking, the thing that I'm curious of is if I were a social justice warrior, leftist, Antifa type, and I'm kind of jumbling all them together. I know there's different degrees. Would I feel targeted by this movie if I were them? And that's the thing. I don't know if I have the sensitivities for that because I just watched it and thought it was awesome. The only thing I could see people getting upset about is it is violent. There's not a lot of gun violence, by the way. Of course, there's some gun violence. But there's not a terrible amount of gun violence. It is a violent movie, but I mean, compared to what? In Avengers, half the world died. It may not have been as bloody, but I don't know, violent compared to what? But I wasn't seeing anything here. I guess the one thing you could say is the bad guy is the hero of the movie.
Right.
And I know nobody from Warner Brothers wants to say that, but at the end of the day, at the end of the movie, you're watching this guy develop and go crazy and do crazy stuff. Well, it's satisfying.
That's like Maleficent. Isn't that the whole thing there too?
I don't know.
Yep, that one.
Maleficent kind of is an evil character doing good, though. You don't really have that with the Joker.
True.
So you don't have that kind of nuance. You have, again, I don't want to spoil it, but he's the Joker. There's no it's not like in, for example, to compare apples to apples. In Venom, did you see Venom?
Mm-hmm.
In Venom, you have a bad guy. Sorry, I'm snapping things. I'm playing with Legos in my hand. I'm a fidgeter. In Venom, you have a bad character. And I thought this is actually pretty smart on the behalf of Sony. You have a bad character doing good things. He's protecting against spoilers, I guess, for anybody who didn't see Venom. Who cares? Okay. It's not that important a movie. Mm-hmm. So it was good, though. People enjoyed it. I mean, my son and I liked it. It was okay. In Venom, you have a bad guy doing good things. You don't have that in the Joker. It's not like at the end he goes and saves a bunch of babies from corrupt.
No, he becomes the Joker, isn't it?
He becomes the Joker.
Yeah.
And by the way, they say Batman's not in it. Technically true. But Bruce Wayne is in it as a child. You see him in the trailers.
Mm.
So his parents and Bruce Wayne are there. He's a presence in the film. So interesting thing. So I don't know, Jen. I honestly, I came away. I didn't. I probably should go and read some of the actual social justice warrior reviews to see what it is upsetting them.
Right.
But
maybe they're just upset that nothing actually traumatic happened.
I don't know. Let's do it. Let's look. Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes. There we go. Yeah, Joker is at 69% right now.
Mm.
Right, let me share. Now, here's the thing. This movie is amazing. And I should have opened with this. When you see this, you're dealing with social justice warriors.
Yeah, really. Look at that. Look at
93% from, that's verified ratings. My son pointed this out to me.
How funny is that? The Maleficent is right there.
There she is.
That's funny.
Looking very gray. So 69%. It is certified fresh, so that's good. See, this upsets my son. He just thinks it's not fair. Critics' consensus: Joker gives its infamous central character a chillingly plausible origin story that serves as a brilliant showcase for the star and a dark evolution for comics-inspired cinema. Okay, so where are the negative reviews? Let's see. There he is, smug bastard. All right, look at how many negative reviews. A movie of a cynicism so vast and pervasive as to render the viewing experience even emptier than its slapdash aesthetic does. Are you kidding me?
Jeez.
Bleak and
juvenile.
It's just Joker's a bad movie. Yes, it's predictable, cliche. I don't even know what planet Dana Stevens from Slate lives on. She lives on Slate planet. I mean, man, overwritten to the point of self-parody. Jen, maybe I have no taste. It was incredible. It was seriously, it was not a comic book movie. It was a drama worthy of people's time.
Yeah.
There is a scary, I was about to say something so offensive, even I was offended. If you're feeling insufficiently anxious in your life, Joker could be just the ticket. If not, look elsewhere to be entertained. What's wrong with you people?
Wow.
A.O. Scott, not to be confused with AOC. It's hard to say if the muddled Joker makes of itself arises from confusion or cowardice, but the result is less a depiction of nihilism than a story about nothing. Jen, when you see,
I just want to go see it. Can you just pay me to go see it at this point as my job?
What'd you say?
I said, just pay me to go see it at this point for my job.
I'm gonna.
I want to go see it.
I'm not really. Perhaps the bleakest assertion of Joker. This is a fresh review. Bleakest assertion of Joker is that one that's hardest to disprove. That the ghastly world fleck. I butchered this quote. Perhaps the bleakest assertion of Joker is the one that's hardest to disprove. That the ghastly world fleck inhabits, and by extension ours, is the one we deserve. What are you talking about? It's a weird thing to say. Joker effectively tells a story with themes borrowed but not stolen from movies like Taxi Driver and Network. I've seen Taxi Driver, and it's a classic movie. Everybody loves it. This is a better movie. Taxi Driver didn't make me have dreams about Taxi. I know Taxi Driver is a great movie. Anyway, and makes them its own platform through its Disturbed. Here's what I think Warner Brothers should do. I'm assuming Warner Brothers is running. Well, who has all the DC properties? Is it mostly Warner Brothers?
You got me on that one.
Who made let's look. Who made the Batman versus Superman stuff? The Justice.
You get there before me.
So poorly. I got it. It was a rhetorical question. Just looking it up. How do I find what studio made it? It doesn't.
Warner Brothers.
It is Warner Brothers?
DC Comics is Warner Brothers.
Okay, yeah, I thought so. Here's what they should do, and this will be our final thought for today for literally nobody who's watching. DC should get, and Warner Brothers should get a dump truck, fill it with $100 bills, back it up to the direct. What's the director's name of the new one? Here, I'll look it up. They should get Joaquinix and Todd Phillips, the director. They should get a dump truck, fill it up with $100 bills, back it up to their house and say, please, Todd, while bowing on the ground and kissing him, please take over the DC universe and be our Kevin Feige. Because this was a masterpiece. Whereas, I actually am one of the rare people who liked Batman versus Superman. Man of Steel was virtually unwatchable. Like, you watch the first time and you get bored. The second time you try to watch it and you say, why am I inflicting myself with this movie? So this was incredible. Like, I want to go see it again today. I want to go see it again. I don't have time, but I want to. So what do you think about that, Jen?
I mean, I want to go see it. Honestly, this might hurt your heart a little bit because I don't know how deeply you feel about one or the other, but I'm more of a Marvel fan than
me too.
Than a DC comic. So
I'm not full disclosure, I'm not a comic guy.
That's controversial, and I want to go see it to see why. See because honestly, I think what's driving everything is the leading up to it. It's not the actual movie itself. It's all the drama that people are driving about this whatever happened in Aurora.
The box, yeah. We'll see how the box office is.
Right.
I was there 5:45. We were like the first East Coast showing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't full. I was surprised. I thought it was going to be like elbow to elbow in there. And like none of that front row that they have, the Lowe's Theater that I go to.
Yeah.
None of that front row was, those front 3-4 rows that they have. None of that no one was there.
That whole front area.
Most of the theater was, it was kind of sparse. And it was early, people weren't even home from work yet. So
and also in defense of it, it opened on a Thursday around like
that's like the pre-open. Like that's
so the kids are still in school at that time, or they're in sports.
Yeah. So we'll see.
I think they aren't going to like it, by the way.
I think it might make a fortune, and they're going to have to reckon with it.
Yeah.
And Todd Phillips is going to be, if I'm right, Todd Phillips is going to be one of these guys who gets to write his own check wherever he goes from now on. Because this was amazing. Even the cover, like look at the freaking cover art. Look at this.
I think you just really like this movie a lot. You've been talking about this like.
I don't usually get this excited.
When did you buy the tickets to go see this? Like a month ago? You've been excited.
As soon as I was able. Like, just look at this. Here's the thing. The posters. Hold on. These are all there's one. Like, just look at that. I don't even think that's from the actual movie. Here's the thing. Yeah, I actually was very excited. But like, look at that.
I want to go see it.
Yeah, you should go see it. All right. Well, let me stop giving you work to do, and then you can go see it. We've been on for over 40 minutes. All right, for anybody watching, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. We're trying to build this channel up and have some fun with it. And of course, everything we do at Outside the Bots is sponsored by PulseWaveTrading.com. That's why we're here. That's our real job. So head over to PulseWaveTrading.com. Find out how we fund this lavish lifestyle where we can talk about movies and make videos that nobody watches. All right. Thanks, Jen. We're out.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks for checking us out. For links and show notes, go to OutsideTheBots.com. To learn more about what we do in our real jobs, go to PulseWaveTrading.com.